Hello my stamping friends, it's Sandy here. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm sharing how I created these three pretty backgrounds with the Ranger Alcohol Pearls inks. These were new. Tim Holtz introduced them at Creativation 2019 in January, and they are just absolutely stunning to play with. There are 12 new colors in these inks, and yes, I only have 11 of them, just in case you're counting. And you'll notice when you pick up one of the bottles that there's white on the bottom. That's the pearlization that settles to the bottom. So Tim recommended that you really shake the heck out of these things before you're using them. Otherwise, all that pearl's going to be on the bottom of your bottle instead of on your pretty paper. I'm working on Yupo paper today. This is another item that Ranger came out with. It's basically plastic paper. It's very cool. And there are two weights. There is a 110 and then a thin one. So I'm holding that thin one right there, and then here's the heavier one. I prefer to work on the heavier one. It's a little bit more substance and it's easier to pick up. And it comes in a variety of sizes as well. I'm going to start with the background for the blue and green card, and I'm using the Yupo, as I said. So the two colors that I'm using are Tranquil and Sublime, and this is kind of like the mixative, okay? You're used to those probably from the regular alcohol inks, but it's a little bit different because it's mixed together. And the blending solution is your friend, let me tell you. So I'm going to start by adding a whole bunch of blending solution, and more is better in this situation. And then I'm going to add the blue to the top because it's going to be my sky background for my card. And you'll see that you just blop it on, and look at, you can see the pearlization already. Isn't it beautiful? And I'm going to add the green along the bottom. And you'll see that it's starting to activate with the blending solution. And then I have a couple of my applicators. And this is kind of I call it the blotchy technique, where you can pick the ink up and move it around, and you're moving the solution as well. And you can do the same thing with the green, and you can overlap them a little bit, and you can just kind of play with it. So you can blend it out that way. I'm not a huge fan of this. I do like it as a base when I'm going to start playing with other things. So you see that I'm adding more ink, and you can add more solution. And you can keep activating this with the solution. And I'm just trying to fill in as many spots as I can to try and make it super interesting. And then you can also pick these up and you can move the ink around just by tilting the paper a little bit. And I'm not going to do that too much because I want to keep this blotchy, because I call the other one the waterfall when you get right carried away with it. So as it dries, if you find that you have a spots that you don't really care for, you can add more blending solution and just blend it out a little bit. And I'm going to pick it up, and you'll see that I can run it. And I just have a few blotches there on the bottom that I'm trying to run a little bit. And what's cool with this is it dries flat. So even though it looks like it's layered and lumpy, it's really, really quite smooth. And a tip while you're working on these, have a great big piece of paper towel off to the side so that you can just lay them down to dry, and have a whole bunch of Yupo paper sitting there just ready to play along with for your next one. Next, we're going to do the pink and orange one, or pink and yellow. I'm adding a whole bunch more blending solution, and this time I'm going to take Deception and Enchanted, and that's going to go on the left-hand side, and I'm going to blend these two colors together. So this is kind of a blotchy / slight run, because I'm going to just let the yellow run on the right-hand side, but I'm going to manipulate that left-hand side a little bit more. So I get all my ink on there, and you can pick it up, and to make it run, you just kind of tilt it, and off it will go. The more blending solution that you have on it, the faster it's going to run. And you can also add a whole bunch more color if you want to. So if you find that you have some light spots, or you've got a spot that it's not running on, that usually means that it's dry. So just add either ink or blending solution, or both. See, that one wasn't moving, so I added some solution to it, and off it goes. And while I'm playing with the left-hand side, the yellow on the right-hand side is just kind of doing its own thing over there. So I'm just letting it, and I'm leaving it blotchy because I want some of that white showing through on the right-hand side. I think it kind of adds interest to the background. And you'll see I'm fussing down the bottom there. I have two little white spots that I can't get rid of. And hello, another tip, it's a good idea to have paper towel when you're going to be tipping, because some of that ink will fall off. On to card number 3, I'm using Mineral and Smolder, and tons of blending solution, as you can see. And then I'm going to start adding the ink near the top of the piece of Yupo paper, because I'm going to do the waterfall where I'm going to tilt the entire thing and get a full run going and get that cascading waterfall look. Actually, I kind of think it looks like a lava run at this point in time, but isn't it pretty, these two colors together? And again, if you find spots that aren't running very well, just add some more blending solution to them and get that going. Look how pretty that is. This is just amazing. And it's good to have paper towel. I've got actually 2 layers sitting there because some of this will fall off while it gets to the end before some of the other stuff does. And I'm going to continue playing with this. Right now I'm trying to fill in some of the white spots, and so you see that you can add more ink and you can just get this going, but it starts a brand new blotch at the top. So if you really like that run, you might want to consider keeping it and maybe just trimming it down, because this is a 5x7, so if you're making a smaller card you wouldn't have needed that outside edge anyway, because I end up playing with this with an awful long time and have an awful lot of ink sitting on top of it. But I kind of wanted to do that on purpose because I wanted to show you how, if you didn't really like how something turned out, you can just add some more solution, add some more ink, and keep playing with it. You're not just going to toss it into the bin, so to speak. So my top is nice. Now I don't like my bottom, so I'm adding more solution and letting it run. Whoa. So go sideways, you get a completely different effect, which obviously I didn't care for too much. So I'm back to adding a whole bunch more, and I'm really going to let this one run, and it's going to fall off the bottom and just get the blending going. That one's pretty. I like the veins in it. So sometimes you can almost get it to look like, your countertops, your granite countertops. And you can dry these with a heat tool if you want. But as I said, depending on how much ink is on it, it only takes about 8 or 10 seconds to dry. So here they are all dry. You can see all 3 of them. And look at the pearlized finish that you get. So with the mixatives, you used to have to add that after you had the alcohol ink down, and it would leave kind of a white sheen on the top, and it would kind of really mute out and hide your colors. With this pearl alcohol ink, it's blended together, so it changes the color of the ink and pearlizes it. So there is a difference, and it is absolutely stunning. There you go. There's all the cards and all the backgrounds, and I've listed all of the supplies that I use below, and there's also a PDF and a supply list over on my blog if you need to. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys following me, and I appreciate all your comments. Thank you so much, and toodles!